Dirt. The sound of it. Not the feel, not yet. Just the sound. Dull thumps against the lid, inches from my face. It took me a second to remember what it meant. A second too long. Then, a voice. Muffled. Soft. Her voice. "Are you sure he's gone?" I didn't breathe. Couldn't. Another voice. Male. Familiar in a way that made my blood go still. I checked his pulse myself. He's gone. Now we collect on his 2M life insurance and go get his daughter from her grandma's. She's ours now. Ours. She laughed. Light, like nothing mattered, like I had never mattered. And just like that, they were gone. Their footsteps faded. Their betrayal stayed. I was buried 6 feet deep in my own premature coffin. And the worst part wasn't the dirt, the panic, the suffocating fear. It was that my wife had used my daughter as the reason to pull the trigger. They didn't know I had time. I had one breath left, and I'd be using it wisely. The signs were there. Looking back, they always are. The 2 long phone calls she'd end the second I walked in. The way she'd flinch when I kissed her neck. The sudden shift from "I love you" to "Did you lock the door?" I'd come back early from a training op 3 months ago. She hadn't seen me walk in. I stood at the foot of the stairs, half in shadow, listening. He said her name like he owned it. She laughed like I never could make her. That voice, I recognized it. Isaac, my former partner. 10 years, 5 deployments, 2 bullet wounds between us. A bond forged in blood. And he was screwing my wife under my roof. That night I didn't confront her. I watched her sleep instead. Her breathing was calm, peaceful. Mine wasn't. I didn't feel rage. I felt clarity. I moved methodically, like we were still on mission. I started with the phone records. Not hers, his. I had access. Old habits, old codes. 1:12 a.m. 3:26 a.m., 11:54 p.m. Always after midnight. Always while I was gone. I planted a recording app under her dashboard. She didn't even notice. By the end of the week, I had over 7 hours of audio. She told him she loved him. He told her they deserved better. They laughed about me, called me paranoid, predictable, said I'd never know. She said he's good with kids, and he'd be a better father anyway. I didn't cry. I didn't scream. I listened. Twice. Then I started planning. DNA test. 1 strand of hair from my daughter's brush. Sent off to a private lab, cash only. I already knew what I'd find. But knowing and proving are 2 different things. The results came back in a week. 99.99%. She was mine. They hadn't stolen everything, but they were trying. Dinner was silent. I set the envelope on the table between us. She reached for it like it was another bill. She opened it, looked at the paper, didn't understand. I spoke calmly. She's mine. Biologically, legally, entirely. A pause. Then her face cracked. Wait, what is this? Proof. I took a bite of steak. That you failed, that you lied, that no matter what you take from me, she isn't yours to claim. She stammered. I don't, what are you talking about? I looked at her the way you look at something already gone. Don't insult me with surprise. She dropped the fork. Metal hit tile. Who told you? I smiled, but said nothing. She wasn't afraid yet. Not enough. That would come later. They thought the fake car crash plan was my idea. They thought I didn't know about the gun she hid in the glove box, or the pine box hidden in Isaac's cousin's garage. They thought if they drugged me enough, I'd stay asleep forever. They underestimated how long a soldier can hold his breath. I woke up underground, took stock, waited until I heard their steps disappear. Then I pressed the panic button sewn into my belt, the one she never asked about. 90 minutes later, I was topside, bruised, alive. Their plan unraveled in 36 hours. Bank transactions, flight records, audio recordings, all handed over to the right people. Not the police. Not yet. I watched from a distance as she got arrested at the gate. Watched as Isaac bolted. They caught him in Texas. Attempted murder, conspiracy, fraud. I never showed up in court. I didn't need to. The truth had weight, and I had dropped it on them like a casket. I didn't take my daughter back. I left her with my mother, safe, loved, untouched by what her mother had become. Sometimes I watch her play from across the yard. She doesn't see me. I like it that way. I don't visit graves, but if I did, I'd visit the one they built for me, empty, like the promises she whispered in my ear, like the eyes she had when she said, "I do." There's peace in knowing I died once and came back colder, harder, wiser, because now, when I bury something, I don't leave room for air.